I have this video here from Josh Strife says that is called Path of Exile 2 is pay to win, but it's in quote. So the quotes make me think that this is like people say this is sarcasm or whatever, but it is not actually, we know that it is not actually pay to win. So I want to see what he has to say about this, because there is people that actually think that PoE 2 is, or PoE 1 also is pay to win. So let's see what he says in here, brother. He's really cool, by the way. I think he's cool.
But first, you'll need to pick a class. So let's talk about support gems. So speaking of builds, let's talk about one of the most iconic Path of Exile systems, the passive skill tree. Yes, it's huge. There are over 1,500 nodes on there. Now, a lot of people open the tree and can get a little intimidated at first, but try not to be scared. There are lots of options, but at its core, it's pretty simple. As we showed you earlier on the sorcerer.
I say this, brother, if you get intimidated by an skill tree inside of a game, what kind of pussy shit is that? It is an skill tree in a game. What kind of pussy shit is getting intimidated by that, my dude? Let's quit that bullshit in here, boys.
You can swap between weapon sets on the fly as you use certain skills. Now, we haven't even talked about the most important element of character progression, items. The last character progression system that you can do during the campaign is Ascension. Ascension in Path of Exile 2 requires completion of one of the Great Trials, which you'll find as you progress through the campaign.
Ritual altars are sacrificial sites built by the mysterious King in the Mists. If you encounter this symbol on the atlas, then you know that the area contains ritual altars. Some maps have been touched by insanity. A mysterious entity has taken a special interest in you. Step through the looking glass and you will find your nightmares coming to life. When you touch a mirror, the mists of delirium will spread out across the area, infecting your mind. You must stay within the mist to maintain the nightmare, which is as profitable as it is terrifying. Everything you kill will increase the rewards that drop. However, the deeper into the mist you travel...
If you've never played Path of Exile before, you need to understand that grinding gear games do not know how to stop making a game.
Distilled emotions can also be used to instill...
That is true, brother. They have like a lot of systems and stuff in the game, and they keep going. Oh, let's put more shit in there. And that is also for us, more content for us. but it is funny how he says it, brother. They can't stop, dude. They are just going and going and adding shit and adding shit. Fine by me. Fine by me, dude. I am going to probably die to this fucking wolf. Motherfucker! Don't kill me! Come on! Fuck! This is not hardcore, but I don't like dying either way. I think intimidated is a wrong word. The reality is some people will look at it and just be like, CBA, what the fuck is CBA? I don't know what is CBA. They will be like, CBA working that out. Which is fair. Okay, I need to know what CBA is to make sense of this, dude. Can be ours. Oh, nice. Working that out. Oh, I understand. They will be like annoyed. Oh, I don't want to figure this shit out. And I get you. That I can see that is fair. Like, oh yes, I am not intimidated. I can figure this out, but I don't want to. It is too much work. It is annoying. I don't want to figure this shit out. I can understand that for sure.
Your endgame maps, applying Delirious to them and adding additional difficulty and rewards, allowing you to further juice your endgame maps. The tablets you can find from Delirium can be used to further improve it, increase pack size, make the fog dissipate slower, or improve your progress towards the pinnacle.
I think Grinding Gear Games heard players complaining that games didn't launch with endgame content, and they took that very personally.
Exactly. They said, oh, you want endgame? Now we are going to give you too much endgame.
Up we have Expedition. Occasionally while clearing corruption, you will encounter these Kalguran settlers. The Kalgurans have discovered ancient burial sites with lost Verisium artifacts, and they want you to help dig them up with explosives. The Kalgurans have marked the locations where the relics can be found. Place explosives as best you can to dig up as many as possible. There is just...
This is why the game isn't out yet. Stop making it. You've finished.
Do a little cleanup before you can reclaim the artifacts.
Brother, as some, I think I like creative stuff, and sometimes I try, for example, on my own time for fun, I try to write music, or I try to write a story or whatever. You are never satisfied with it. You are always trying to modify it, to add it, to do stuff, to edit it in some way, you know. So there are a lot of in musicianship and in writing that they say at some point you have to stop and you have to say, yes, it will never be perfect, but you have to release it, because if you keep doing that, you are never going to release it, you know. At least the guys on PoE are releasing the game because they can keep working on it over time, right? But yes, the game is finished, dude.
So those are the in-game systems on the Atlas, but we are not done yet. The trials we talked about earlier have much more content when you get to endgame too. Just like the other endgame systems, they also have progression mechanics, unique rewards, and player power that can only be gained from them. As you get higher level coins for the Trial of the Sycamores, you will unlock more floors to explore. Each floor has its own challenging brooms, and a floor boss that you will need to kill.
What's your favorite part of Path of Exile 2? I don't know.
Had enough yet? Because there is still just one more thing. The most difficult content in Path of Exile 2. While mapping, you might come across this fortress that has emerged from underground, surrounded by an enormous maze riddled with danger. Is the maze preventing something from getting in, or something getting out? This fortress is of ancient origin, and its construction has similarities to the towers and tablets that you have been using on your journey through the endgame. It is clear from the entrance that there are 3 keys required to enter. Local factions are vying for access to the fortress in order to seize the power they believe will be inside. Each of the faction's leaders have managed to get their hands on one of the keys, so you will need to defeat them.
You know what's inside? More systems!
You can see one of them
Which
inhabiting
is
the
awesome.
city,
Cool.
but in order
Nice.
to fight him,
Great.
you will first need to defeat their 2 lieutenants in the adjacent zones.
Just give me the
Be
game!
careful. If you fail against either of the lieutenants, or to kill the leader, they will move on, and you will need to find them again. Kill
Just
all the
give
Uber
me the
bosses and you will
game.
gain access to the fortress.
So these are your challenges for PoE 2. As you can see, this project is crazy huge. Way bigger than even we expected when we started out. But how do you gain access? Well, during early access you'll need a key to get in. To thank our existing PoE supporters who have spent more than $480 US, we'll be giving you guys a key for the PC version for free. Anyone else who wants one can get one by purchasing one of the new early access supporter packs that have just been released to the store.
I already bought one, of course, the $30 one, brother. I just want access to the game. I don't care that much for cosmetics. Plus, if I cared, I don't have money for that shit.
If you just want early access to PoE 2, then you can get a key in the $30 US early access pack. The pack also comes with $30 of points to spend in the MTX store. But we also have a variety of other supporter packs filled with exclusive microtransactions, points to spend in the store, and even physical items. The cosmetics can be used right now in PoE 1 and in Path of Exile 2 when early access starts. Most of this footage has been recorded in Path of Exile 1, since that's where you can use them immediately.
For those of you who haven't played Path of Exile 1, I wouldn't say that it's pay to win. You can definitely gain an advantage by having more bank slots, but you can complete all of the main game up to endgame without needing to pay anything. And they're one of the few games and the few companies that I would feel completely justified giving money to based on the amount of hours I played the game for.
Also,
Do remember.
Good take, good take. I know that I am a new in PoE, and probably you will say, like, how will you know you haven't played endgame to know how important taps are? But in the 3 acts that I played, the first 3 acts, I was playing the game normally, completely free to play, no problem at all. And I am confident you can clear a lot of the content of the game and have a lot of fun and do everything without needing to buy tabs. I believe that you need the tabs to trade, but you don't need to trade. So aside from that, this is not pay to win, brother. If you characterize this as pay to win, I don't know. This could be pay for convenience, probably, something like that. Or maybe if you have a scale from 0 to 100 in the pay to win scale, with Diablo Immortal being 100, then PoE will be like a 3 or a 4. You know, like, yes, you are getting something, but the thing you are getting is whatever.
I don't have enough energy.
it is like not that important. I will probably die in here, motherfucker, motherfucker, motherfucker. Fuck you, fuck this shit, dude. How can a level 8 bear kill me, dude? This is so fucking stupid.
If this is intimidating you, you don't need any of this. I've played for hundreds of hours, and I think I've spent 20 quid, if that, to get some bank expansions. But you didn't even need those. I was just lazy and didn't want to throw things away.
Exactly.
So all of these cosmetics, all these overrides, they're not mechanical advantages. You won't need them. You can play this game for hundreds of hours. If it was genuinely pay to win, it would have died years ago. People get annoyed at me that I defend Path of Exile for the way that it monetizes itself, but I think it's the most fair way of doing it while still paying back the massive cost it took to make it. Consider it like this. If you don't need a bank expansion until you've played the game for 50 or 60 hours, how much would you have paid to get a 50 or 60 hour game? I completely agree that to most people, a $480 early supporter pack is too much. Don't buy it. You don't need to. If you have that cash spare and you want to buy it, great, go for it. But you absolutely don't need it. I would say that a fair price for this game would at least be £40 to £60, which would probably be $50 to $70. If after playing it for 100 hours, you want an extra bank or you want some cosmetics, I think that's a fair amount of money to ask for the game that it's giving you. That's a lot of game. The reason it's not released yet is because they had to stop them adding features.
I mean, we were really keen to make sure that when we went into early access that people didn't feel like it was just, limping.
Yoshi's on point with his comments in here, by the way.
Limping along and kind of, just like a minimal amount of content. We really wanted to kind of blow people away. So hopefully people feel like, there is enough content. Because, it was certainly a mission to get all that stuff in.
Yeah, I did come here expecting that there would be, maybe a basic mapping placeholder endgame and your 3 acts and, the half the classes, but...
What a joke. As early access, they released almost the entire game. Some of you in the chat right now are extremely upset, screaming that Path of Exile and Path of Exile 2 are going to be pay-to-win. Pay-to-win exists on a scale, on a spectrum, from really egregious to it's not pay-to-win at all. You can definitely gain an advantage by buying bank tabs, but I believe that where Path of Exile and Path of Exile 2 sit on that scale is acceptable for the amount of game that you get.
Turned into this megalithic...
Exactly what I said earlier, and it is completely true.
What have you done?
Now we have 50, aiming to be 100. Honestly, probably later, several more 100 once all the end games, everything start to evolve and more expansions comes out. And I'm like, yep, we maybe just made 100 times more work for ourselves, but 100%.
No, hang on. Twitch chat. Josh keeps his national insurance card in his boomer phone case. No, I don't. That's my Costco executive membership card. Thank you very much. That might be more boomer, I just realized. I think people that see this monetization as unfair have not played actually unfair monetization games.
Exactly.
Even if Path of Exile 2 was...
They have not played Marvelous Snap like me and created a channel revolving Marvelous Snap, and then they realized that bullshit was just a gacha game with a card game component on top and decided to move away from it. But yes, they have not played games that are truly egregiously pay to win, brother.
Pay to win, which I don't believe it is. Imagine the absolute strength when someone comes up to you and goes, oh yes, I spent several £1,000s and now I'm the best in the world at this system. And you can reply, I haven't even engaged with that system. I don't even know what that system is. I'm not even involved in that part of the end game. I've got no idea what you're even doing. And you wouldn't even be lying. The game is that big. I was planning on seeing my family over Christmas, but I might need to give my mum a call and tell her that, look, I love her, but this just has more skill trees. Actually, if I dodge my family this year to play Path of Exile 2 over Christmas, I do gain points in the family dodging skill tree, which would allow me to, dodge my family more easy.
Can you imagine that? Saying to your mom, you need more skill trees. You need more skill trees, dude.
And next year, at various conventions, at various other events, if you put enough points into the family dodging skill tree, you don't even need to go to like Halloween or Thanksgiving. It's great. If you want to think of the original base Path of Exile 2 character without paying anything as a demo, and then once you've played for several hundred hours, you spend some money to unlock the ability to have more storage, that's fine. It's the same way that WinRAR is a demo, and then you can pay to unlock the ability to do more with it, but you don't need to. Some people in the chat are confused.
I don't think a single person in the whole world has fucking paid for WinRAR, brother. I don't know anyone that has ever paid for fucking WinRAR, dude. And that is awesome because WinRAR is cool. So it is awesome that they offer the thing for free, my dude.
About the price, the $30 is the early access pack. After that, it will transition to a free-to-play model the same way that Path of Exile 1 is. There's an interesting argument going on in the chat currently about whether the value provided by the game is worth the things that are locked behind needing to be purchased, such as bank slots or extra storage areas or things like that, or the cosmetics or things like that. I believe that Grinding Gear Games has been one of the most direct and the most honest gaming companies making a game. They've told you what they're going to give you, they've told you what they can provide, they've told you what you can buy, and there is a huge amount of audience trust there. Now, not everyone trusts them. That's absolutely fine. I personally do. I think that if they wanted to make a low ball money, they could have used underhanded tactics for the last couple of years. But had they done that, we would not be sat here now looking at Path of Exile 2. If they had been as unscrupulous as people accuse them of being, this wouldn't exist. It is undeniable.
But what people? Where is these people, bro? What? Apparently he has them in his chat. But I haven't seen a lot of people saying PoE 2 is pay to win, brother. Maybe one. And saying like, it is pay for convenience. You can definitely get an advantage by paying, but not necessarily pay to win, you know? So I also haven't found people that think that GGG Grinding Gear Games are scummy or are using bad tactics or whatever. Pretty much everyone agrees that they are a great company making an awesome game, and on top of that, they don't use crazy monetization tactics like pretty much everyone in the gaming space is doing, right? I know some guys, all of them software devs. So yeah, they are supporting their colleagues, software developers, right? That is why they pay for the WinRAR, or maybe they need the paid version, I don't know. But yes, normal users like us that we get everything that we need for free, we don't pay for that shit, bro.
There are a lot of people who just want to complain about something not being perfect. If you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. If you don't want to do that, you can join me and play Path of Exile 2 when it comes out, and we'll probably have a fun time together. I don't want to mute these guys often because what they're saying is fantastic, but everything in chat doesn't need to be addressed. Ultimately, video games are a hobby. They are your hobby, and they are fun, and they are enjoyable. All hobbies ask a small amount of financial investment from you. Sometimes they ask a large amount of financial investment from you. I can't talk. I play Magic the Gathering and Warhammer. I have two expensive hobbies. I believe the value proposition that Path of Exile 1 has given me over the years is worthwhile. I have the expendable income to be able to enjoy Path of Exile 1 to a degree that I think is fun. Thankfully, that amount is remarkably low compared to a lot of other hobbies. I believe Path of Exile 2 will give a value proposition that allows you to...
On top of that, you have to remember that if you decide to pay for early access, you get 300 coins. And I went ahead and I saw how much the tabs are worth it if you buy the $30 pack. That is the one that I bought. To have access to early access, you get 300 coins. And I went ahead and I saw how much tabs cost. And with the 300 coins, you can get some tabs in there. So let's pay to win in a way, because everyone that is having access to early access is going to get tabs. So even less, my dude, this argument is, you can argue that eventually when it is free to play, then people will have to spend some money to get the tabs. But at the same time, it is not that, we have already established that it is not that bad. But right now in early access, that we know for a fact that everybody had to pay, everybody had the coins to get the tabs, you can make this argument of pay to winness.
enjoy it for a remarkably low cost. Ultimately free unless you want to do more complicated stuff. The more complicated stuff you want to do, the more money it may ask of you, or the more money that would be an advantage to you. It's a value proposition. These are your hobbies. If you enjoy them, spend money on them. If you don't enjoy them, don't. The amount of money they're asking you to spend, I think, is remarkably fair for the amount of value they're giving you if this is your hobby. Oh, for anyone unsure, yes, they have confirmed that microtransactions to purchase stash tabs will apply to both Path of Exile 1 and 2. And you know what? I like Path of Exile.
Which is insane, by the way. Very, very few games do this. The majority of the games just go again. And every year or every couple of years that they release a new installment, you have to buy all your shit again. Which is one of their strategies and why they keep releasing bullshit. These guys are so ethical that they said, no, you are not the money you have already spent is not going away. We are giving your shit back again. How awesome is that, dude? How awesome is that?
For everyone in the chat that tells me it's a bad game, I'm going to buy even more stash tabs. I'm going to buy them and not even use them. I don't think they have enough endgame for release, to be honest. I think people are going to blitz through this in about a week. If they keep putting out fires, fixing and recalibrating, they actually gain points in the putting out fires skill tree, the fixing skill tree, and the recalibrating skill tree, which are 3 different skill trees which each have their own currency and each have their own end boss as well. Some people in this chat right now are very much powering through the complaining skill tree, which is worrying me because they're getting a lot of points and eventually they will unlock the can I talk to the manager skill. A good way of looking at microtransactions is, how do you feel that that transaction went after you have given the company your money? Have you ever been in a position where you have given a company your money and you felt that you have got an exceptionally good amount of kind of quality and quantity out of that? I've felt that in a couple of times. When I've given my money to Factorio, I feel that I've got one hell.
Every time that I buy a Coca-Cola, I feel that.
I don't have enough energy.
I am getting my stuff when I buy a Coca-Cola, brother. By the way, drink Coke Zero, brother. I know that people say, no, it tastes like shit. Yeah, but it has 0 calories, motherfucker. And it isn't that bad, brother. After a while, you get used to it. And then regular Coke tastes like dog shit. I am so used to Coke Zero that when I taste regular Coke, it tastes weird to me.
Of an amount of content back from it. When I gave my money to Portal, I felt that I got a hell of a lot back from it. When I gave my money to The Witcher 3, I felt I got a hell of a lot back from it. Every time I have given money to grinding gear games,
you know what, in my opinion, is worth it, and I know it has nothing to do with this, but talking in gaming industry, when you say like, oh, spending money on this is worth it in terms of gaming, you know what I think is like that? The Game Pass, brother. The Microsoft Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass, I think it is worth it. It is cheap and you get a ton of games, brother. In my opinion, it is really, really good. Where the Pepsi I also love Pepsi, brother. I also, and Pepsi Max, it is called in here. I don't know if in your area it is called like that. The Pepsi Max is like the Coke Zero. It is the 0 calories Pepsi. It is really good. It is really good. We like it in here too. My mom loves it. My mom loves the Pepsi Max more than the Coke Zero.
I feel that I have got more out of that transaction than they have. And that is why I think...
There is Pepsi Black. Okay, that one. My mom loves that one, brother. And in here, it is really black. It has like the... I don't know how you call the thing that you cover the bottle with. You know, the cap. It is black and the label is black. But it's called Max for some fucking reason. But it is awesome, brother.
That I consider this a fair transaction, a fair trade for the amount of game, for the amount of cash. I have never given grinding gear games money and felt that I haven't been given a worthwhile product afterwards. Life is a complicated, stressful thing, and we all have different things to worry about, different things we hope will or won't happen. Ultimately, video games are a fun hobby. If you enjoy them, then give them what time and money you can, and give them the amount of time and money that you think is a worthwhile value trade to you. But ultimately, life is short, and it's not worth stressing or being angry over something in a video game when there are
Completely agree with this take, by the way. Completely agree with this take, brother. Life, every second matters, believe it or not. So, don't waste your seconds on that bullshit, dude.
So many video games and so many other hobbies to go and do. Path of Exile and grinding gear games have never made me angry with any of the choices they've made. I've disagreed with them, but they've never made me angry. If
Before
you are
has made me angry, for
stressed or
sure.
annoyed or angry
And WoW too.
at the design of a video game, you can step away and do something else that makes you
I
happy.
don't want to. I want to
This
play WoW. And
makes
I want
me
to play
happy.
with fun.
I think a lot of people get a lot of happiness from Path of Exile 1 and will from Path of Exile 2.
I will
If
get
that's not
happiness
you,
from Path of Exile
that's
2
okay.
for sure.
It doesn't need to appeal to everyone, but I genuinely believe that this
Hell,
game
it is giving me happiness right now, and the game is not even out yet. Imagine that.
will make more people happy than it makes angry. And if it is making you angry, there are thousands of other games that will be tailored to you. Personally, I'm very excited for this to come out.
Brother, awesome tapes in here, by the way. Awesome tapes in here by Josh. I completely agree with him. And I told you guys, this is when I saw that the title was in quotes, I knew Josh has cool taste. There is no way in hell that he's going to say that Path of Exile is pay to win. And the title is in quotes. He's going to say that it is not pay to win for sure, 100%. And that is exactly what happened, brother. And it was obvious that that is what was going to happen.